Hey, welcome to another edition of Vine Talk. Today, we're going to be discussing video games. It says here on the list. Welcome to just a discussion, really. I am very tired. I don't feel 100%, and it's been a long day. So I'm not going to play any video games today, but I will talk about video games for a little while. Thank you for watching this. I hope everyone's doing okay out there. Now listen, there's a thing here called the Stream Deck where you can press buttons and it changes the scene, mutes the thing, plays a fart sound effect. That's for streamers. But Valve revealed something called the Steam Deck, which is interesting. Now before I talk about that, I'm going to go over some video game related news. And then at the end of this, I'm going to talk about the Loki show at the very end so you can avoid spoilers. I just wanted to talk about it because I have some complex thoughts on it. But first, the Steam Deck. So the Switch Pro rumors were real, except it wasn't a Switch, and it wasn't even made by Nintendo. Definitely not the first person to make that joke. So apparently it's a little bit bigger than the Switch. You can see it looks a little chunkier. And we'll see if it's any good, but I like what Valve did with the Index. Hell, I even thought their controller was a cool idea. Mother Miranda? I feel like calling all mommers. Listen, I think it was a good controller, but it had some problems. Like, I didn't think that the haptic touchpad would replace the D-pad or the control stick anytime soon. So I didn't really use it that much, but having the option is nice. I mean, especially if you need to use a mouse. I like that there's two of them. I like that there's still a D-pad. There's still buttons. It looks like there's two buttons on the back for your index finger and middle finger, while you also have, every finger could be utilized. So I mean, the pinky and the one that's not used very often, the ring finger. So it looks like there's a lot of buttons. It looks like a pretty sturdy piece of hardware. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to get it. I might, but it looks cool. I have questions. But there's some mock-up. No, there's no roof parties, and you can't detach the things. It kind of reminds me of the goddamn Nomad or Game Gear. But truthfully, it looks like it could be a good competitor for Switch, which I think is a very good thing. It's no mistake that I'm not a fan of Success Nintendo. When they start doing well, they start getting sloppy. And it gets kind of annoying. And I feel like they haven't even updated the goddamn UI on the Switch. So having, like, a real portable competitor and your entire Steam library on the go, I think is great. And I want to see what this thing is going to be like. I have some stats. It says here, AMD has a custom APU, Zen 2 RDNA 2 powerhouse. I know some of these words. And it's enough performance to run the latest AAA games in a very efficient power envelope. Apparently, the battery life will be kind of low if you run at 60 FPS, like a Doom Eternal type game. But if you're playing Hades, I'm sure you get more time. A Switch is like that too. There's a dock that has USB-C stuff, and it will be sold separately, and you can, I think, get that plugged into your TV or a monitor, and then there's your Steam library. So it's kind of cool. There's 3 different versions of it. There's the 64 gig version for $400, which is, I think, a $400 price point is reasonable. Very reasonable if you can run most AAA games. I think that's pretty good. It's only got 64 gigs, though. That's not a great amount of storage space. I mean, sure, SD cards, but also what kind of SD cards? Does it have the highest transfer rate ones? Like, I think there's 1,000 up and down. I don't even know if that's how you would describe it for an SD card, but I think 1,000 transfer rate. Someone's probably shaking their head like, "Punti, why do you say this word?" But there's also a $530 one, $529, faster storage, carrying case, an exclusive Steam Community Profile bundle. That's 256 gigabyte NVMe SSD. And then the 650 Ultra Gamer Edition is 512 gigs with NVMe SSD. It's got fastest storage, premium anti-glare etched case, so, you know, all that stuff. I wonder if it has an OLED screen. I don't know. That's the one thing the Switch OLED may have. But it definitely looks like a cool piece of tech. And introducing some competition into this field, I think, is a good thing. And I'm very interested to see where this thing lands when it releases in December. Will Valve abandon this like it has other hardware in the past? Or will it become a success? And they'll keep iterating. Because maybe the first iteration won't be the best. Maybe, you know, well, obviously. But what I mean by that is maybe, for me, I jump in on the Steam Deck 2 after they've figured things out a little bit more. And again, I love that you can have your Steam library with you, but a lot of that stuff is on the Switch, and I have a good chunk of the ones I'd play. And I already have a Switch library that's pretty decently sized. So I'm wondering what the other selling points will be for me. When I have a good PC, I have a Switch. It's like, well, I maybe need just a little bit more. And yes, being able to play modern AAA games on the go is great, but the battery life is going to be kind of weird, isn't it? So, who knows? Not sure if I'm going to buy it, but I'm very interested in this hardware. And I'm wondering what it would feel like, too. Again, it's a little bit bigger than the Switch, and it's a little chunkier than the Switch. And I'm wondering how those touchpads will work. And I'm wondering, is there a touchscreen? I don't even know if there's a touchscreen. For more information, visit steamdeck.com. Hardware. There's comfort. There's thumbsticks, there's triggers, grip buttons, there's a touchscreen. Yep. Trackpads, and gyro, which is good for aiming. That's awesome. Okay, yeah, no, there's some really nice features here. We got hi-fi audio. We've got, if you're playing smaller 2D games or web browsing, you get 7 to 8 hours of battery life. That's pretty good. Expandable I/O. So you can expand game options with peripherals and stuff. Wireless, fast suspend and resume. That's good because the Switch has a very fast suspend and resume. And yeah, with the micro SD card, you can really get some storage space on this thing. So yeah, I think it's great. Honestly, I'm impressed by this, and its price points seem pretty good. What am I listening to? Okay. Well, in any case, I think, again, the Steam Deck, pretty cool. Interested. Not 100% sure I'm going to be picking it up. But, man, Valve makes, they try. They make the stuff. I like the Index. Sure, there's a little bit of tech problems I had with my Index. It's been a couple minor things. And the controller didn't exactly track for me. I didn't love it, the Steam controller, but I thought it was a neat idea. Switch competition, full Steam library. I say let's do it. So I wish Valve all the luck in the world with this thing, and I hope it works out, and I hope that the hardware holds up as well. So, that's the Steam Deck. Now, something that people probably, I think there was a couple people that wanted me to talk about this, and I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Nickelodeon fan because, you know, I watched it when I was a kid. I don't know half of the shows in this Smash Brothers Nickelodeon clone, but it's funny because when you type Nickelodeon, like the first thing that comes up is Nickelodeon Smash Brothers. So there's pretty much no mistaking what this thing is. Now, hang on just a second. Also, when I typed Steam Deck, I want you to see what came up. Did you mean Valve Stem Deck press kit? No, Google. No, I didn't. Here's Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. I've seen about 25 seconds of this trailer. This is the 720p version of it, so it's not going to look all that amazing. So I know Ninja Turtle. I don't know who that McCloud kid is. I know Powder Toast Man because Ren and Stimpy I grew up with. I didn't watch every SpongeBob, but I know the SpongeBob. So these are some cool fucking characters. Oblina from Our Real Monsters is amazing, by the way. I love that show. Nigel Thornberry, I know some of those episodes. But yeah, Oblina, Powder Toast Man is amazing. I don't know who this is. Sorry. People are gonna be like, how do you not know? Boomty, I'm 36. Helga from Hey Arnold is awesome. Reptar from Rugrats is awesome. Where's Mr. Dink? Where's Douglas? Where's the chair? The purple chair. Invader Zim, again a show that, and Danny Phantom I'm aware of just from trash showcases. Leonardo, so we got a couple Ninja Turtles. It's pretty good, and more surprises too. I want to see Ren and Stimpy like ice climbers. Yeah, no, this looks, honestly, this looks pretty cool. Gameplay could destroy this if it's not tuned finely. So this is a thing people are talking about, and I don't love this because I don't know all the characters. I'm not losing my shit over it, but I have to say the characters I do know, the characters I do know are pretty fucking good, mate. Powder Toast Man is one of the first memories I have as a child. I'm not kidding. Ren and Stimpy came out when my brain was just becoming soggy enough to remember things. And I remembered when he scraped the powdered toast, like the cinnamon, off of his head. That was one of my first, like, I was like, wait a minute, that must hurt. So I have, like, some of my first memories are wrapped up in that show. So that's some pretty crazy nostalgia. The gameplay looked like Smash Brothers, of course. I don't really know what else to say about it. Time will tell if this available fall 2021 game will actually deliver on some of the hype of the characters. But I think this is a really, really clever idea for Nickelodeon. And I think making money is going to be good. They're going to like the money they make from this because people are going to be like, oh shit, nostalgia, SpongeBob, Invader Zim, Daniel Phantom, person from the property of the game. I don't know if Nickelodeon has the rights to Doug anymore, but it would feel wrong to not have Doug. Like Roger Klotz or Doug or Quail Man or like a Nematode or the Beats as the background music. Killer Tofu. God, I love that shit. So I don't know what other Nickelodeon, major Nickelodeon things are missing here. Like in terms of cartoons, I feel like there might be something. Rocko's Modern Life. Does Nickelodeon still own that? But yeah, Rocko would be a great addition. And Pete and Pete from The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Kel from Keenan and Kel. Okay, that's live action, but they could do something, right? So yeah, truthfully, that looks kind of cool. I will investigate when the time comes, and we'll see. So we talked Steam Deck, we talked Nickelodeon. Capcom acknowledged that there are PC performance issues with Resident Evil Village. It is fucking astounding that this DRM shit has made certain games more viable in regards to pirating. Like, your punishment for buying the product is worse performance. It was the same with DVDs back in the day. When you'd get the pirated DVD, the movie would just start. But when you bought the DVD, you'd get unskippable warnings and previews, etc. So, yeah, that's really anti-consumer. The Switch OLED went up for pre-order today. Today is it's I'm recording this on the 16th at like, after midnight, but it was the 15th of July. And yeah, I know people that pre-ordered it, and apparently there was better handling of the scalpage, but I did not pre-order the Switch OLED, and I don't plan on it. It's, again, I talked about it plenty in my video about it, and it looks cool, sure, but I think I'm going to have to pass. So, a couple other things I wanted to mention. Pokemon Unite. Now, you have to understand, I don't really play every Pokemon thing that comes out, and I don't like MOBAs. So, this isn't exactly my my number one most anticipated title. Though there is some gameplay I can take a look at. I'll just download it. But yeah, for those that don't know, there's a Pokemon MOBA free to play that does not require Nintendo Online subscription to play. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of purchases. I haven't really played a MOBA since Warcraft 3, like since the birth of the MOBA. I might have played a little Dota 2, but it never stuck for me, so this is not exactly my genre. I'm going to mute this, and I'm just going to scan a little bit and see what this looks like. Yep, it looks like exactly what I thought it would look like. So this is a Game Informer video. And, yeah. So anyway, it feels... It feels like they figured out how they could monetize Pokemon more with a popular concept. And truthfully, I think this is smart. Because of the amount of popular Pokemon, and because of the varied amounts of, like, moves in the games, honestly, I think this is a brilliant business decision. As a fan of Pokemon to a degree, but not a fan of MOBAs, like I said, I'll probably pass. But it looks clean, it's free to play. Maybe I'll play it, if, just give it a shot. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, I might not consider this. But because I make the videos, as you are aware, you're watching one, might check it out. Maybe like one time for an hour. But yeah, I would, if Froakie's in the game, that's cute. That's nice. I would probably choose Scyther if you could. I don't know if Scyther is a playable option, or Caesar. Of course, Pikachu's not in this game. Why? No one really picks Pikachu in video games, right? Yes, Pikachu is here. Is Mimikyu here? Because Mimikyu would be good. So it looks like you got, let's see if I remember these. So you got... Who are these Pokemon? Who's these Pokemon? Who's these Pokemon? Pikachu. So you got Mr. Mime, Slowking, Charizard, Gengar, Pikachu, what's the name of that thing? Is it Frostmouth? No. It's, a thing. There's a bird, Lucario. There's, another thing whose name I forgot. Good. Okay, so yeah, I know all these characters. Monkey. I see Monkey. Nothing terribly exciting, but it's familiar faces and familiar gameplay. It will make money. Probably gonna make a shitload of money. So, alright. Fine. That's fine. In other news, still no Metroid Prime Trilogy. Still no easy way to play Metroid games when we have a new game upon us, and many people would probably drop a couple bucks to play Fusion on the Switch. And, a port of Samus Returns and Zero Mission. That would be fantastic. Still no way to do that, though. One more piece of news that I'd like to discuss in the video game world, here in the Vine Talk segment. You know, stuff that's of interest to me, for example. Like, I'm not gonna cover, like, sport game, because I don't really have anything to say about that. But I can talk about this RE-verse thing, which got delayed. So, there is a... Capcom keeps trying to make RE-verse a thing. What is RE-verse? RE-verse, of course, is a multiplayer shooter. Competitive, like you fight each other. And they delayed it from July 2021 to 2022. So that's over 6 months. Or it could be over 6 months. And I don't know what that's going to be like. Because the game itself looked as bland, as basic as they come. We've seen Resident Evil in the multiplayer sphere plenty of times. It really hasn't caught on. I think the delay is good. Can they do anything with it that would make it appealing to the general masses? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think Resident Evil is best single player. But if you're going to do something multiplayer, raid mode from Revelations is pretty cool. The concept works. You could do that co-op. You could also do Mercenaries co-op. I'm sure it's been done before. In fact, Resident Evil 5, the co-op was so good, it made the whole game... Like, I mean, it was a pretty good game to begin with. If it was even, you know, Resident Evil 5 being like a place where it turned into boulder punching and got kind of dumb. But I'm sorry, Resident Evil 5 was a good game that when you play it co-op is like way better. So I think Capcom would be best suited for co-op Resident Evil experiences. Even if they wanted to throw some action in there with raid mode. Hell, do a third-person Resident Evil MOBA. But yeah, I don't know what this RE-verse thing is gonna end up being. Are you just gonna, like, assault each other? And just shoot? Is it, like, multiplayer deathmatch? I don't know. I wish Quake Champions didn't get neglected and Unreal Tournament didn't get thrown aside in favor of Fortnite. I like multiplayer shooters, but for some reason the Resident Evil variety just doesn't really do it for me. So yeah, delay. We shall see. So that's it for video game news at the moment, I think. Let me just do a quick scan, because if I'm doing a specific segment on my thoughts on video game news is also Skyward Sword reviews are kind of coming in, and it's about what I expected. They're saying that the quality of life stuff is good, and that the game is largely unchanged, but the 60 FPS is good. The free camera is good. The motion controls have been improved. So apparently it's, you know, it's a more concise experience. I'm going to be playing it. I'm going to be playing it, and maybe I will play the whole thing if I like the quality of life stuff. But yes, I will do some segments on it. But there you go. That's my video game stuff. I want to talk about the Loki show because I just finished all of the episodes. They just did the season finale, and I got to be honest. Well, the logo isn't working, first of all. OBS likes to give me a hard time. OBS has some people swear by it, and I find it to be pretty okay. It's like I'm trying to drag an image into it right now and it's not working. I find it to be serviceable for a free alternative, and it has a good it records good. So try to download this thing, this logo, and it's really not downloading, or it's not being added to. Note, I cannot talk about the show until there is a logo on the screen. Just note that. Wow, the worst possible one. The quality is low and terrible. I can't believe this. Why is it impossible to get a wow? You know, I'm just trying to go on a jet ski and get like a Loki logo. Really? I mean, you know, I haven't been in a movie in a while. Maybe Zoolander 2? Zoolander 3? You know, and this Loki guy's kind of just, you know, a jerk, and he doesn't apologize, really. I mean, for anything. It's unfortunate, yeah. Animated Web P? That doesn't work. Well, while I get this logo, I'm going to get one. I'm going to get the logo, goddammit. While I find a version of the logo that doesn't look like something that a duck pooped, I will tell you that. There we go. That's not bad. I will tell you that I liked the show overall because it had some cool stuff in it. It started out as my favorite of the Marvel TV shows. As a general kind of audience member of the Marvel stuff, don't know the comics, didn't see all the movies. WandaVision had some neat ideas, but got a little lame at the end. Kind of just became boring with a couple ideas that were cool. The Falcon the Winter Soldier had some cool characters that had a good dynamic, but then it got... I just dropped a ton of cards. That's nice. It got kind of... Like other things, it got kind of dumb. Like, it started doing a very predictable thing, and then it started wagging its finger. And truthfully, it detracted from some of the enjoyment, especially because the villains did nothing for me. If anything, it was just nice to see Bucky and Sam, you know, work through some stuff. And I feel like character development's always fun to watch. That said, the Loki show was my favorite at first because the time travel stuff really works for me. I love time travel. I love the bizarre, like, TVA headquarters. I thought everything there was cool and creative and fun. And I think Tom Hiddleston is a great Loki. And I think that continuing from the events of the first Avengers movie was a clever idea in order to bring the character back. So obviously there's going to be a lot of spoilers, and I'm not going to talk about this for too long, but there's going to be spoilers, so just beware of those spoilers. Okay, I'm going to pick up these cards while I'm talking. So, here's the deal. The thing got really cool around episode 5, and then the last episode kind of didn't really do anything for me. As a non-comic book person, the final person, Kang, I found out, is their name, I guess, is at an interdimensional war with himself for some reason, even though one dimension should be enough. I don't know. Whatever. They're setting him up as the next big bad for the next phase. The actor was a little wacky. I thought he did a very good job at the wackiness, but like it was more quippy marvelness. And it really was just like, well, I get what they're doing. Is it working after all this build-up? Nah, maybe not. Not really for me. And this is just my opinion, of course. What really didn't work for me is the character of Loki himself, which at first I was willing to excuse it, but then it started becoming much more apparent. That is not Loki. That was Tom Hiddleston playing a character that, I don't know, felt kind of like Loki and had to develop into the Loki from the Infinity War stuff very quickly. And then by the end of season 1 in this show, he's nervous. He's like basically a hero. And most of the character traits that Loki kind of had were just gone. And I really do think he works best in the context of Thor and the context of like the other superheroes. And in this case, to me, it just fell flat. And it's unfortunate because, again, I wanted to like it. And I think Hiddleston is genuinely a great actor. And I think the material was just not really doing it justice. There is so much potential. The Owen Wilson character was my favorite. And even he didn't really get his chance to shine. So again, some disappointments there. The end exposition that just kept going on and on and on and on and on. You know, I still was confused and I had to actually read about what was happening. Not that it was like overly complex, it was just boring. Like, and my brain started like missing some information because I started thinking about what am I going to eat for dinner. That's a me problem, but also maybe a little bit a problem of the show. So, yeah, not crazy about it. The Lady Loki basically was all powerful and had the ability to turn a giant demon cloud into a teddy. Lots of conveniences in that demon cloud episode. I'm a big fan of all the weird Loki, alligator Loki. I'm a big fan of the what's his name character, the classic Loki. I think that I forget the actor's name. Richard E. Grant. He was really good, and the creativity of that episode was good. But then it just devolved into fighting a giant cloud. And it was like, wait a minute, how does one fight a giant cloud? And then like the convenience of this dimension where they like purged all these people, and Owen Wilson just drives up in a car. I'm like, yeah, all right, it's getting kind of dumb. I get it. It's a comic book show. It's not supposed to be high art. But I can't help but feel like there were so many missed opportunities with something that started really solid. And truthfully was solid most of the way through for me. And I was still interested. And I still am, to the extent that I wouldn't mind seeing season 2. Which was confirmed. I thought this was a one-off. But yeah, I mean, this Loki character just feels like Tom Hiddleston playing a hero in the Marvel Universe in a weird plot. It's, to me, this isn't the same Loki that I remember from the Avengers movie and from Thor Ragnarok. And that's fine. He doesn't have to be exactly that character, but it's almost jarring at times when I really like snapped out of it and I was like, okay, this is a different character. Got it. So overall, I would say that the concept was my favorite of the shows. And maybe even the execution still kind of worked mostly, but my interest just kind of faded, and I just wish maybe there was a little bit more to it. Though I am interested to see what they're going to do with this new villain. I'm interested to see how they're going to set up Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. I like Parallel Dimensions. I think that Star Trek episode with Parallel Dimensions is pretty cool. And so that's something I wouldn't mind seeing. And it looks like they've already opened up the multiverse, so they're just, you know, setting the stage for the Doctor Strange movie, so that could be cool. So, not bad. Kind of dumb. Weirdly not predictable and not predictable both at the same time, if that makes any sense. Fun to watch. But yes, consider this a discussion of the Loki show, but also the 3 Marvel shows we've seen so far, which I'm gonna say, of the 3, you know, WandaVision was pretty good. Falcon Winter Soldier, again, pretty good. This, pretty good. They've all been pretty good. They've got the big actors, they got the big characters from the Marvel movies, and they work to a degree for me, and then they just become, like, flat and not very memorable. And ultimately, I just feel like the potential is definitely there for a lot more. I don't know if the Marvel magic has faded, but if you think about it, there's been just a ton of serviceable Marvel movies with some really high standouts. And a lot of, like, just yeah, this is a good comic book movie. And then you have the stuff like Winter Soldier and Thor Ragnarok and Iron Man, where it's like, whoa, this is good stuff. That's the only reason, and Avengers too, like, that's the only reason, not Avengers 2, that one was kind of boring. That's the only reason why the cape shit stuff, as it's called, had any interest, I had given me any, I had any interest in it in the first place, because I always thought comic book stuff was fucking stupid. I thought that the characters were, like, dumb looking, and the tights and the weird, like, yeah, there's so many of them, and how many comics do you have to read to be caught up? It was like, oh, I don't think I care enough. And then I saw the first Iron Man movie in the theater, and I was like, wait a minute, this is pretty good. And then I saw the Avengers movie. I think I saw maybe Captain America before that, maybe Thor 1. And I saw the Avengers movie in the theater because a friend of mine dragged me to it, and I liked it a lot. And then I was like, all right, I like these things now. And it's been kind of just all right, with some really good ones and just a lot of mediocre shit. And the TV shows so far have been pretty mediocre. But who knows where it'll go from here. What I will say about this Marvel shit is that I'm not watching the Scarlett Johansson movie, because I'm not that interested. I'm also, whatever they have, there's like a number of trailers out for their movies, like The Legend of the Rings or something. I'm good, pass. Kumail Nanjiani is in something, The Eternals, pass. Like, you know, I'll watch the Ant-Man movie and the Spider-Man movie, which, by the way, the Spider-Man movies is good. Okay? I like those. And I'll probably watch the Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man and be happy with that if they're good. So anyway, that's all. Just wanted to talk about it a little bit. Yeah, you know, the only problem I really had with the show was that we didn't get to go inside the computer. Okay? That, I didn't get to ride a jet ski. So anyway, let's go ride this train in India. Let's discover something about ourselves. You know what I mean? We'll bury a goose feather. It'll be pure and wild. Anyway, thank you for watching, or rather listening. Not much to look at. And take care out there. Back to video games soon. But yeah, I couldn't really manage a whole lot more than this tonight. My eyelids are very heavy, and I'm having trouble organizing my thoughts. So I will wait another 40 seconds so I can get exactly to 40 minutes. And while I'm doing that, here's a skirmit. Yeah. Those are pretty cool, right? That's good stuff. I also have duck content for the future. I'm not going to show you now because I don't have it. But you'll see new baby duck content. It's good. I'm a fan. Okay. Gonna stop this exactly 40 minutes. Goodbye. Goodbye.